Once a couple more people join, we can go ahead and start with the class.
Okay.
The only homework we you guys had was to like finish the classwork activity from last class. Other than that, I didn't post anything because there was nothing extra to do. Yeah, I'm gonna start adding homework once we like go over everything in debate because we might be like 75% there because I want to like cover everything, like all the topics, how to like do research and how to flow is what I'm gonna do this class. And then after that I'll assign homework every week or like every class. Yuvika, do you have a question?
Yeah, actually, like I was checking Google Classroom, but I didn't like there was nothing on the Google Classroom when I checked it.
Yeah, so like what I said last class was to just finish the card activity we started last class, like the research where you just like take a topic. Sorry, you just take a topic and then I guess you make like a research document on that. That's what we did last class. And if you didn't finish that, we can just continue it in this class. I'll give like 5 to 10 minutes at the start of class in order to finish that. Yashmit, do you have a question?
So the cutting, I just continue doing it about like the Biden's nuclear deal thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's one we were supposed to do, but like I gave at the end, like I don't know how many people were
Because
there.
like last class you said that you were gonna post something so we can put in the homework, like submit it to you.
Yeah, that's true. But like I'm just gonna start out by like we can submit it to like after today where like that was kind of like everyone does the same thing, but the homework I'm gonna assign this class is just gonna be like find a topic, like make like an AF card and then an egg card and then submit it. That's what I'm gonna do this class, if that
Okay,
makes sense. Yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Ishan, do you have a question?
Last class you said you were gonna post instructions on how to get the paperless debate thing.
Yeah, I think there's instructions online, but what I want you guys to stick to Google Docs for now because I believe that's a little more simple. Plus, I don't know like what type of like I guess like laptops you guys have, so it might not work for everyone since it's not really like the actual Microsoft Word. I'm pretty sure it's like kind of like a cracked version. So I'm not sure about that because I'm pretty sure you have to pay for Microsoft Word. And I just want to make sure that like no one gets in trouble. Like make sure you do your research beforehand and there should be instruction videos online. And if not, I can post something. But like I think we should stick to Google Docs for now, if that makes sense. Yuvika, do you have another question?
No, I just forgot to take down my
Okay.
hand.
Yeah, no problem. I can okay. Yeah, I think you have to pay for Microsoft Word. I'll just search it up right now.
You have to pay for it.
Yeah, you do have to pay for it. It's like $160.
What?
Yeah. So and the one that's on paperless debate is kind of like a hacked version. Yeah. Like either you have to pay for a subscription from Microsoft 365 or you have to pay like a one-time fee for the Microsoft Word. Shravani, you have a question?
Um, yeah, for the card cutting,
Mm-hmm.
like, how do you said that like you just select a bunch of text and then you
Yeah.
put it into the doc and then highlight the parts that are important. But
Not really important, like what you want to read during a debate. So I can share my screen really quickly.
yeah, but how do you like determine if there's like a whole like
Mhm.
essay on one thing, then how do you choose which part you want to highlight? No, which part you want to select to put into your doc and then highlight from there.
So the way you choose is that like let's say you look at the entire document, right? And then you want to start off either like there's two types of cards. There's like the start off information card where you like present an intro. So let me pull up a case I've had in um like previously. Uh look at here. Hmm. 1 second. Okay, here. All right, so let me share my screen. All right, can everyone see this document right here? Oh,
Yeah.
that's not the one. It's a different one. Okay, it's this one.
The text is kind of small on the thing.
Yeah, I can zoom in, I think. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. We can see the document.
Okay,
is
okay. If it's good, so this is like a card you want to start out with. So you can always say contention 1 is ideological imbalance. This one was about term limits place a limit on, or hold on, where's the resolution? Oh, it's up here. Okay. So this topic was the justices of the Supreme Court of the United States ought to be term limited. So currently all the Supreme Court justices are on the panel for life. And that means that, like, I don't know, a couple of things. One, they can like kind of like stay the same political leaning the entire time and kind of like create issues in the government. And the other one is that, like, once you place them there, like they can do whatever they want, and they're like in a very large position of, power, and for a long period of time. So ideological imbalance is one of them. Since there's only like, it has to be a 3/4 like split in the Supreme Court, you have to have a like inherent imbalance. So there's always going to be like a political spectrum onto one side into another. And because that lasts so long, it can kind of affect the way the US runs for a while. And that's basically the entire, like, kind of like the out scope of this debate. Yeah, so when you're finding a card, you can always start out with the intro card like this one. So you usually should make your own summary of the card. So you can say contention 1 is ideological imbalance. The current Supreme Court is intensely polarized and imbalanced. Term limits are the solution. So like make kind of like a statement like that. And then what you're looking for in a card, right, is evidence that supports that statement. So here, like in subpoint B, you could say ideological balance is necessary to generate real change. So you want as balanced as possible of a like a Supreme Court justice split. Like right now it's like a super majority where there's like, I don't remember exactly how many, but there's like more than 4 like Republicans or like basically on the Supreme Court. And that creates a very, very ideologically imbalanced court where like every decision that the Supreme Court votes on goes in the Republican way. Like the Democratic vote in the Supreme Court doesn't even matter. So you want to have like proper representation for all people. So then you say that ideological balance is necessary to generate real change. So then you bring in the evidence that says with ideological balance, the court would provide meaningful representation to all, diffuse the politicization of judicial appointments, and make wiser decisions. So that's how you kind of get into a card. So what you're looking for is something that connects to your main statement over here, if that makes sense. So let's say you know what you want to say. You're saying that, okay, ideological imbalance is a good point. And then I want to like introduce that. So I say the current Supreme Court is intensely polarized and imbalanced. I set that as a background. And then I say term limits are the solution. This is the affirmative side, obviously. And then you can say results reveal that. That's what you want to find. So you want to find stuff that always supports like what you're trying to argue. So if someone's arguing that the justices shouldn't be term limited and they should like stay how they are in the status quo or current situation, then you can always say Americans don't trust the Supreme Court. Term limits are a welcome solution. So you could say that people want, or like people don't trust the Supreme Court, thus decreasing legitimacy. So that becomes your impact. So like your impact should always have some connection. So without Americans trusting the Supreme Court can't function properly. Like you have to make that argument. So then you could say, term limits are the most effective way. So they're a welcome solution. And then you could say something you found in the study. So in a comparative analysis of all potential types of court reform, it was found that term limits would be the most effective. So once you do that and you have your source, Brookings in 2022, that's the source, you can go directly into your evidence and what you want to read, if that makes sense. What you always
I have
want to
a
look for. Yeah, go ahead.
When it says term limits, it's kind of like how the president can only be the president for 4 years.
Yeah. So
And then-
yeah, basically, that's basically.
But except for the judicials, they can stay for a lifetime. Well, currently at least.
Yeah. That's basically, that was the topic for I believe the most recent topic. Yeah. So there's always ways you can like collapse on an argument. So what you want to do is like kind of, especially in the cross examination, if you want to break down your opponent's case, try to like first like what I do is like you can always have setup questions. So I ask, okay, do you think that it is fair to have a super majority in the Supreme Court where all decisions made in the Supreme Court are biased towards one side of the political spectrum when that's not like meaningful representation for all people? And then that's basically like asking them if they believe in democratic values. And if they don't, then you basically win the debate there and there, like then and there. Because once they argue that, they can't really like back down from that stance, if that makes sense. Like they have to argue that the super majority is good. And obviously, like even the negative knows the super majority isn't good. They're just trying to like nilly-nally their way around that fact, if that makes sense. So always have like good setup questions, and then you can always dive into like legitimacy of the government. Like the legitimacy of the government only like I guess exists in the people's trust of the government. Like you should base the whole debate off that, and then you can argue like, oh, okay, since my opponent is defending the supermajority, then they don't believe in legitimacy, et cetera, et cetera. So then they don't support the value criterion or the value, and that's how you'll like win that type of round, if that makes sense. So always find cards that kind of like collapse on each other. So first, if like my opponent agrees to the fact that governmental legitimacy is good, collapse on the fact that like, oh, okay, the affirmative supports legitimacy, but the negative doesn't. And that's why you should vote for the affirmative. Does that make sense? Like always try to trap your opponent into agreeing something that seems kind of blatant, but goes against their case. I'm sorry if I like gave a lot of information there. That was just like my thinking process.
That makes sense, but the way you said it, try to trap them, it sounds like we're doing something evil.
It kind of is evil at the same time because you're always trying to win the debate, right? Like when I'm saying trap, it's not in like a malicious intent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds
way
more
that-
logical if you think about it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
trap them in a logical
yeah.
way.
I don't mean it in a malicious like intent or any way like that. I just mean like, okay, so if you're like backing this up and you're not even supporting it, then why should you win the round? Like you need to add like make those like questions pop up in your judge's head. Like you have to understand, like, and the judge should be like, oh wow, look at the AF. The AF does this, this, and this to promote this. They both agreed on that, like promoting legitimacy and promoting trust is the main impact here. And whoever can do that the best should win this debate. And then since the negative can't do that at all, then they automatically lose. Like that's how you should like try to find the easiest ways to win. Like obviously this will happen to you. Like people will try to trap you in those questions. Always try to nilly-nally your way around those questions without giving a direct answer. Because even if you can give a direct answer in the, like, I guess in the cross-examination, right? It hurts more to completely lose out in every other speech than to take like a like somewhat big of a hit in the cross-examination. Yeah, Shravani, you can go ahead and raise your hand. Or like ask a question.
For the like agreement with Iran,
Uh-huh.
the previous class you
Yeah.
told us to like in the previous class you told us to like add add the people,
Yeah.
the names
Source,
of the
right?
people who made the sources, like the authors of the
Yeah.
website. But how would you like format that into your card?
Okay, yeah. So I'm assuming most of you guys use Chrome, right? Or Chrome or Safari. Maybe some have both. Like, could you just say yes or no in the chat if you have Chrome?
Yes.
Okay, so if most of people have Chrome, then what you can do is like if you go to Chrome, you go to like the little kind of crossword puzzle thing. I think you can go to manage extensions, search extensions, and you can search up site creator, I think, right? Okay, now hold on. How do you go to the?
Can you just share your screen?
Yeah, I can share my screen. Give me a second.
There's
I'll
like-
stop sharing. Yeah, sorry.
It's like Chrome Web Store.
Yeah, I believe it's the Chrome Web Store.
So basically, you go to settings on Chrome. Oh, it's over there. Oh,
Yeah, do you see it? So then you can just like search up site creator. So site creator, it's made by the same people who have the like paperless debate. It's this one. It's like I think it's the most popular one to get. Okay, they have free Robux too, I guess. But yeah, so basically what this will do for you, it'll give you like a grade basically. If I go to a website, let's say I go to like CNN. Oops. Breaking news. I don't know. I'll click on this article. it'll give me like a rating if the bottom, if you see that. And all you have to do is just copy paste this and you're chilling. And then you go to your card and then you do whatever you want, if that makes sense.
It says A minus.
Yeah, A minus is fine. As long as it's above like kind of like a B or B plus, I think you should be fine. Just always make sure you have like first the author, the day it was published, like what the title is basically, like Wall Street Journal right here.
What are you supposed to do when you find site creations again?
You can add it as you can add it as an extension. So hold up, I gotta move this around.
But I was asking what after that because I'm done with that.
Okay, then like whenever you're researching, right? All you have to do like, oh, let's say, okay, like nuclear deal Iran. I'm just gonna search that up.
Wait, what is the thing called again? The extension?
It's called site creator. So that's like a site is just basically your source. It'll create like a formatted source. Yeah, it's just site creator on Google Chrome. And then you can just add it to
So you want anything above like a C plus, I think you said?
B or B plus. That's good. But
B
like
or B
most of the
plus.
time, if you like, the thing is like this won't always be able to like give you like a good format. Like it won't be able to find the information it's needed on the website to create a site. But basically, like I don't know. There's some things where like it'll tell you the author here. It'll tell you this like I guess when it was updated or like when it was created. But then it won't know how to put it in the source. So all you have to do is just look at that and put it in the source. So I'll actually create a like
Where does it show the grade thing?
it shows it at the top right here. Can everyone see this? A minus. It says A minus.
No.
Okay.
No, I turned it on and it works.
Okay. Yeah, it'll give you a great like if am I sharing my screen? I am, right? Can everyone see like the Wall Street Journal, Wagner boss?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. If you see look at can you see like the source at the bottom where it like kind of
Like in the black text, sort of like
yeah, the
white
black
text.
text. Yeah, it says A minus right here in the green.
Oh,
I
okay.
still don't see it.
Okay. If you download the
Oh yeah, I see. It's like down at the bottom.
yeah, it's down at the bottom.
I have a question.
Yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, go ahead.
So I wasn't here last class.
Uh-huh.
So can you post the recording?
Yeah. I all the recordings are posted on YouTube.
I don't
Oh,
see
because
it
you didn't
either.
post them in Google Classroom, which is why I didn't see
Oh,
it.
okay. I'll put the link to the YouTube channel in the Google Classroom, but like we post all the videos to the Google.
Yeah, I
Classroom.
know. But then like the teachers also post it in Google Classroom, so we can just access it from there.
Okay, I can do that also. Yeah, that should be fine.
What were we talking about before? Because I like literally just joined. So
We were talking about just like I guess like cutting cards, basically like how to create a good card. Like a card is like you weren't there last class, right?
I was here for the first class, but I wasn't here for the other Wednesday.
Okay. So last class we were talking about like I can present my screen. Just give me a second.
One of my sources is exactly a B, so is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Like just make sure like sometimes, right? If it tells you it's a B, right? It'll have some empty thing where it can't find out like when the article was published. You can fill that in. If that makes sense.
And like I also found out when I was asking for the recording, I found that you did something like this Microsoft Source thing in class.
Oh wait, what? Sorry.
In like the Google Classroom, it said someone was like asking for like the Microsoft Source thing or something.
I think it's the Microsoft Word.
Yeah, something like that. I was confused. Is that
the
what you mean?
black,
Class or something?
So like for most debaters, they go to this one website called Paperless Debate, and they hold up. Let me pull up. Okay, yeah. So they go to a website called Paperless Debate. It's the same people who made the Chrome extension, and they have like a version of Microsoft Word you can download and install that basically has like a bunch of add-ins that help with debates. So when you like create for Ishan, do you have a question? You said for what?
No, because she was asking.
Oh, okay. Wait,
Shiva,
Shiva. So like the letter grade that it gives you for the source, like let me just answer like
Can you send me the link to whatever we're doing?
Yeah, I don't have a link to because I just joined.
Okay, I can just share my screen. Give me a second. Let me just go to the extension store. Make sure you have this. Oops. Let me just
There's
here.
you see in an article you told about the black text. I don't see it.
Yeah,
just
just give me a
found
second.
it.
I'm sharing my screen. So what it should look like is okay, so can everyone see like the paperless debate extension thing? So you can go
Oh,
so
yeah.
just search up Chrome Web Store, go there and search up site creator.
Mhm.
And then the person who made this should be paperlessdebate.com. So everyone just download that. So then, for example, when you go to a CNN article, right? Like I just go CNN and then I search up I don't know. Like this, right? It'll give me a grade at the bottom. Or like
Oh,
it'll
like
give me a source also.
for like how good the article is.
Like how good the source is what it gives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it'll give you like the quality of the source. So it makes it like make sure it has the author's name. It's very small. I don't know if I can zoom in. Can everyone see like this a little better?
Yeah, yeah.
So it'll give like the author's name, the date it was made, the title of the article, right? This where it's like the source of the article and the link. That's a good source. But sometimes, right, it has issues like I don't know an example off the top of my head where like I guess the author's name will be right here and then the date will be right here, but then it won't put it in the source. So then you have to put that manually. It'll just like the
Wait.
date will, huh?
I'm confused. What are we doing again?
We're adding the site creator. So whenever you create a card, you want to have the source, right? So
So basically, when I did the same thing, and then when I went to CNN for like just to test it out,
uh-huh.
it was on the same article, but it
Yeah.
gave me B minus.
Are you sure it's the same article?
It was the same article. I checked it right now.
Can I get the link so I can try it also?
It's just okay. Yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. Just give me a second. So this is for the Chrome Web Store. So just go there, and then you can add it to Chrome.
Was the article about some Wagner chief was really planning, according to a report or something?
It's right here. It says Wall Street Journal. Wagner boss plan to capture top Russian
Well,
defense chiefs.
Yeah, that was the
How do I
one.
make it work?
What do you mean make it work? It should automatically turn on.
Automatically be on.
Yeah.
It's not working. I mean, I don't see anything.
Try closing Chrome and reopening it.
You should go to an article.
Go
Yeah,
to like the
turn on.
CNN or like
Like go
BBC
to
News.
CNN.
It's the same article and nothing's happening. I don't see anything.
Can I get like the article? Cause
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll put the
see it,
article there
I see
too.
it, I see it. Mine says A
Article
more.
is CNN.
I'm on the same article except like nothing's happening till. It is the
Mine
same
also
title.
says A minus.
Yeah, okay. I guess it's working for some. This is a little confusing, but if you have it
I
like
installed
on,
it.
yeah,
Try-
mine's working.
try closing Chrome and then reopening it, or like giving it access to. Yeah. So okay.
It doesn't ask for any access. It just like downloads it.
If you
Yeah.
can everyone see my screen where it says like if you click this little like puzzle type thing at the top right, and you go here, just make sure it can like for on all sites. So it like automatically pops up on every site.
How does like the site thing grade the paper?
It doesn't grade the paper. So it puts together a site. So all this does, it doesn't grade the paper or doesn't know like anything beyond what the site is. So a site is just basically a source. What it gives you is the author, it gives you the date it was published, the title, the larger source like CNN, and then it gives you the link. And then based on what information it has, it gives you like a grade.
It
So don't even
says
worry
to
about
put
the grade.
Control Alt 1. It's to put Control Alt
Doesn't
1.
for me it's just automatic. It just works automatically.
That's the same for me.
Yeah, try refreshing the
Um,
page like Mahika said, but beyond that, like I'm not really sure. Like I can give a written instruction on how to do this, but that's all like I can really do.
After I refreshed the page, still giving me the same grade.
What does the grade say?
It's B minus.
Wait, could you share your screen? Is that fine? Just share that like one window.
I found a source that's B minus.
Okay. Wait, could you share that like just screen share that one article?
Oh,
Okay, sure. It still says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, hold up. Is there any way I can change that in the settings?
I found a source.
You have
that's-
to like, it's like, you have an option beside the share screen generally, and then you can just like change it from there.
There's like an up button, an arrow
Okay,
pointing
I
up.
changed it. I changed it. So
Okay,
yeah, you try now.
Okay, yeah, it works.
Radio control alt 1 through 5
Should
it works, but only
Oh, yeah,
independently. It doesn't merge
over
them.
here, it shows me B minus.
Oh, you're not on the same article that I'm on. I don't.
That's the article.
I mean, it looks a little
It's the
different.
image is saved, but the title is different.
Oh yeah, it's a yeah. So go to the chat. I put the link to the article and open that up.
Oh,
Yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. Now it's A
Yeah,
minus. Right?
yeah.
oh yeah, okay, thank you.
Oh yeah. So it works. So if everyone can see a screen, right? So can you go back to the B minus article? Like just the where it's at B minus.
Oh,
Yeah, it was that one. So if you see it, right, it can give you the date it was published. All it puts is XX.XX.XXX. So sometimes it can't like see when it was published. It just can't like read that information. So although it says like Wednesday, it might say Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. That's when it was published. It doesn't put it there. So you need to put that there manually. But like
Okay.
always make sure like if can everyone write this down? Like I can just like say it out loud right now. If everyone wants to like put this in a Google Doc or something, have the author title, have the date it was published, have the title of the article, have the larger source, which is CNN, and then have the link. That's all you need. That's all you need. And then you're fine. If that
So
makes
wait, have the author's title, and then what else?
So the author's name. So in this case, it's Rob Pichetta. That's the author's name. And then put the date it was published. So 6-28-23 is this example. It's June 28, 2023. Like have the date it was published. Then put Wall Street Journal or like whatever name the name is. And then
Wait, what do you mean by Wall Street Journal?
that's the name of the article. So if you look at the article name, it says Wall Street Journal Wagner boss plan to capture top Russian defense chiefs. You do have the title of the article. You know, I can just put this in a Google Doc and then I'll post it on the classroom. If that's fine.
I'm like writing in the chat, so I can just.
Yeah,
Write in-
okay. So I'll write it in chat. I'll say
Wait, can you write it in the Google chat too?
author.
should I stop sharing?
Yeah. Actually, no, just test.
Where
Okay.
do we type this? To you? Do we type this to you?
No, just like remember this. I'm typing it out. Just yeah, that's fine. I'll just like delete your comment, so it's fine. Okay
Oh,
then.
yeah, are you gonna give us any homework?
Yeah,
Can you
will.
post it?
So the
post
reason
it-
why I like since you weren't there last class, the only like homework I like verbally assigned was to finish the card activity we started last class. But we're gonna
Oh.
finish that this class. Like I'm sure it's like I believe Ishan or someone else like already finished the homework. So I'm gonna give 5 to 10 minutes in class to just
Can you
um,
tell me what the exercise was?
yeah, it's I think you weren't there last class, so I'll post the slides on the classroom and then just read through those slides. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll also go over the recording ones.
Yeah.
So are you gonna make a Google Doc on how to like, or on like how to do this?
I'm just putting it in chat, but okay, so this is what I'll do. Let me write this down. So I'm gonna do a couple of things. I'm gonna create. Okay, that pen doesn't work. So I'm gonna post like an actual card activity where you have to cut a card on the app and neg side. All the instructions will be there. Like just choose a topic, any topic. I'll give you a website where there's a bunch of topics. Choose a topic, make a AF like card, and then make a neg card. And then today I'm going to teach what flowing is. So flowing is basically like tracking a debate through like writing everything down on paper. So you have to like submit that also. That takes like way less time. And then I'll post instructions on how to like cite without any of the site creator or anything, just like a regular site. And then I'll also, do you guys want the instructions for the paperless debate thing? Like-
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I can make that also.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Could you put like an example of a flow or a card?
Yeah, I'll
or
put a
both?
picture up. Yeah, I can do that.
Also, are
an
these-
example
are
of
these the
flow
only-
and an example of a card.
Can I get the video? Cause I don't get.
Yeah, if you just go to YouTube right now and search up Simple Tutor, it's not in the Google Classroom for now. Just go to simpletutor.com and then you can basically like you'll see the video.
Okay.
Isn't it simpletutor.net?
Yeah, I was like, is it?
No, just go to the YouTube and search up Simple Tutor. I can share my
Oh.
screen, or I'll put the link in the chat. No worries.
I'm already searching. It's fine.
Okay. If you just search up Simple Tutor, it should be the first person.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. And if you go onto the account, it should say lesson 2 intro to debate, researching and cards. We only did the researching part, so I'm gonna like put the flowing part today, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I just have to watch lesson 2 because that's the one that
Yeah,
I.
okay. Then you'll be fine. Like I think lesson 2 was one of the more important lessons, so just make sure you like if you have any questions, you can reach out to me.
Yeah.
I can put my email in the chat.
Site sources. It's a YouTube's a D- website.
Yeah, because it's not an article. It doesn't have like date published and all that.
Yeah.
I put my email in the chat.
It's a D- website.
Yeah, it'll just say like B- and stuff like that because it's not I guess it's not like it's not an article where it's like it has an author, it has all that. So I guess like the algorithm for the oops, sorry, I keep getting a bunch of notifications. Oh yeah, so it's just not an article. So make sure you're on an article because like to cite a YouTube video, that's like a different citation. And usually there's no case where you should be using a YouTube video in order to like kind of like use that as a site. So if that makes sense.
When we submit our cards to you, like
Uh-huh.
after this class,
Yeah.
will you like go through them and see if we highlighted enough or if we like did it good? Because I feel like, at least for me, I'm doing way too much highlighting.
I mean, there's not necessarily too much highlighting. Just make sure you're highlighting the stuff that has like value in what you're saying. So if I'll share my screen really quickly. So make sure your card, right? So your card right now, right here.
Mhm.
This is
Okay,
what
so
your card needs to
that's
have.
the
I'll
card?
write an instruction. So don't worry about like this title right here. You don't need to have the title. Just put like sub point A, right? Just put A dot and then put the Supreme Court, like, or like not the Supreme Court. Just put like a small summary or like your statement on the article. Like just do this. Right. And then you can put according to a joint study by, whatever your source is right here. And then you can like put the copy paste from the site creator basically. So you have the author, you have the name of the article, and then whatever, you know what I mean? So then you can put results reveal that term limits are likely to produce dramatic changes, like whatever you want to highlight that's important, just do that. So that's all I need. So like three parts basically.
That's what the
what if
exercise was we were supposed to do last class.
Yeah, that was, I just said that verbally. I didn't expect everyone to finish, so I'll give like some time in class. So
Because I'm still confused how to do it, so that's why.
I can't see who's talking right now. Is that hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't there last class, so you wouldn't like. I didn't like. You wouldn't know how to cut a card. So a card is just like basically a piece of evidence. I can just like hold up here. So if this is what we went over last class. So basically, how to cut a card. It's like refers to a process of selecting and extracting relevant information from evidence from a larger source, such as an article, research paper, or book. Then I just gave like some tips. So use credible sources, define your topic, explore all the diverse perspectives of the topic, take advantage of like online databases, and then fact check and verify your information. So this is what a card is supposed to look like. So first you have your title / summary. So you could say climate change in China's wrecking the environment and the economy. Then you can put the source, then you can put the larger source, the title, the link. So it can be in any order. Just make sure you have those components. So make sure you have the year that it was published, basically like Michael Page 22, the author of the year, the larger news source such as CNN, the New Scientist, the New York Times, the title of the article, and the link to the article. And then what you can do is, if it's non-highlighted, but it's bolded and underlined, that's something you can read in a debate if you want, but it's not something that like you should prioritize. And the highlighted stuff is something you should prioritize, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but like going back to the card example, so that whole paragraph is where you like is your debate, like your speech sort of like.
Yeah, that's what you read off. So like if
Okay.
I'm like reading through my constructive or like my, like, you remember what a constructive is, like the case itself, right?
Mhm.
So sorry, you read like, okay, climate change in China is wrecking the environment and the economy. Michael Page in 22 writes that river and reservoir levels have fallen, factories have shut, crops have been damaged, the situation, and then you can read this part. So you could either read the situation could have worldwide repercussions causing further disruption, or you can simply read the situation causing further disruption. So it's like kind of like that, if that makes sense. So
Okay.
the stuff that is not highlighted is optional, but you can totally read it if you want. If you have time, if you're going a little faster, you can read it. It's like that type of thing, if that makes sense.
And then what are like the little letters? The
So
little
the
words?
little letters are the stuff you don't read, but you still need to keep it because of like if your opponent asks for your card or for your source, right? You need to give the whole thing. So it kind of makes sure you're not taking things out of context, if that makes sense, to like support your argument.
So it's just supposed to write a whole entire paragraph for that.
You don't have to write anything. All you have to do is copy paste what you want to read from an article. So example, if I go to the CNN article one more time, right? If I go to, okay.
Oh, so you're not writing anything. You're just like copy and
Yeah.
paste.
Yeah, it's just all copy and pasting. That's what a card is. I'll put the like, okay, here. So if I go to CNN one more time, right? And I go to, I don't know, I click this. And then let's say I read through the article. Always read through the article first.
Mhm.
Okay. And then it's like, it's a small article, I guess. And I read, okay, Wagner mercenaries took control of key military bases, right? So that's a part of my evidence. You could say that like what the Wagner did, like if the topic is, was the Wagner takeover or like, I don't know, I guess like Wagner actions, mutiny or not mutiny, right? And you could say, yes, they're betraying the Russian government. Then you can ask, like, you can see, like, look at this. Wagner
Does it
took
does
this,
it
huh?
does it depend on one source or like multiple sources you can take and like form it into one paragraph of evidence?
So that's what multiple cards are for. So have different subpoints. Right here, right? So I have subpoint A and then subpoint B. You can't necessarily like take this information from a different source and just like copy paste it over here. You know what I mean? Or like
Mhm.
wherever you want to do it. So you just can't do that. Just make sure it's always separate and they're like conveying either
Also,
the same or different points. But
is there like a limit for how many cards you have to have?
there's no limit. So basically you should have like 1 to 3 subpoints per contention, and a contention is like a larger, like, I guess, impact or effect you're going to talk about. So if I'm talking about ideological imbalance, I'm going to show how the current Supreme Court is first intensely polarized and imbalanced, and then second, I'm going to show why ideological balance is necessary to restore change.
Oh, okay.
So since you weren't there last class, like I want to continue on with like the current topic, which is flowing. So like
Yeah,
there's
I'll
a
just
YouTube
go over
video,
the
I'll
video
post
and
the slides also.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
So we're gonna go over flowing today. So flowing, let me just find an example sheet. All right, so I didn't have my camera on. Okay, so flowing is basically where you take like, I believe that, okay, this is a speech event, not a debate event, sorry. Let me just find a good piece of flow. I have like a folder of them. Okay, here. Yeah, so this is a good piece of flow. So always divide your paper into all the speeches. So for LD, right? So first you have the like one NC, which is the negative constructive, which basically means that that's the negative's case. So the negative is giving their argument, like all of it, right? And you have to write down first, okay, the value and value criterion. I'm gonna write this down on a Google Doc. You can't really see it right now, but you're gonna have to basically have the value and value criterion, the contention of legitimacy, and then like all the subpoints they talk about, all their points, et cetera, et cetera. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw arrows to all the blocks you've created for those points. And then you're gonna kind of write like small summaries of each one of them so you can respond to them. I don't know how much, okay, we have 20-ish minutes left. So I'll give you more information on the flowing, but I'm gonna go over my presentation right now. Okay, where's my Chrome? Oh, it's right here. Okay, here. Oh, I guess my Google Slides are not here. All right, so okay. So this is the basics of flowing. So the introduction to flowing is flowing involves creating a visual representation of the debate on paper. So flowing is basically whatever your opponent says against you and whatever your opponent says, you track. And then you should also track what you're saying to make sure that you've responded to all your opponent's arguments. So like you're basically like writing down everything that goes on a debate and tracking it basically. And this allows you to obviously track the progression of the arguments and understand what the overall structure of the debate is. It helps you track what was said, when it was said, and how it relates to the larger like debate. You should track the following parts of your card of your opponent reads or speaks against you. So you should always track their value and value criterion. So as I mentioned, the value is what they're trying to achieve at the end of the day, and the value criterion is how they're going to achieve it. So are they maximizing societal welfare? That type of thing. You're going to want to write down their contention names and the numbers of their contention. So contention 1, 2, and 3, and contention maybe ideological imbalance. For the previous topic, I've just like the not the China topic, the Supreme Court justice topic. And then you're going to also want to read like the number and name of that. And then when they talk about cards under their main contentions, you want to write the card source. So like as I showed you, there was a Michael Page 22 card about the China topic. So you're going to write, page 22, and then you're going to write its points. So right after that, you want to have, this is the structure of flowing. So here, if you can see, there's multiple lines right here. So this was the negative speech, the rebuttal, and then you're going to have like whatever the flow is. So usually it goes, if you're the affirmative, you're going to write on one side of the paper, all your stuff. So you can write one AC and then one NR, which is the rebuttal. So negative rebuttal. Sorry if I'm going a little fast. So you want to track the whole debate. So on one side of the sheet of paper, let me get it better. Yeah, right here. So if it's one AC, I don't think you guys can see this that well. I guess I can post a picture of it. So if you're an LD, you're going to create like 4 lines on the front. You're going to have the affirmative constructive. So this is whatever you're going to say. So you're going to write like morality, upholding governmental legitimacy, et cetera, whatever your case is on one like super thin like speech. This is why you want to have a thin pen, because you have to cram a lot of information right here. And then the second, the one NC, they're going to give you some first like rebuttal. So this is all the rebuttal that they're rebutting against yours. And then the one NC on this side is their constructive speech. If that makes sense. So on one side, you should have everything like more affirmative perspective, and the other you should have completely negative perspective. So have your case. So okay, I'll put this in the chat. Can't even access the chat. Okay, here. So the first column should be, if you're the affirmative, I'm assuming you're going to have your affirmative case. Then the second on that should be the negative but
So on one side it's affirmative, one side it's negative.
I'm going to create a better representation. Like I probably should have done a better job on this, but like what you basically have to do is oops, sorry. All right. Okay. So what you basically have to do is create columns where you have to track the debate. Okay. So if you go online, there's like a lot of, I'll search up a video. So here, so. So this is a good video on that shows you how to like flow. I put in the chat. So it's just taking notes kind of the debate. So always like there's something called pre-flowing, which is like pre-flowing whatever you're writing. So whether it be like your case. So you already have your case, but you want to put it on paper. So to track like the arguments your opponent has made against your case. So first, in one column, in a really small column, write everything about your case, if that makes sense. And as we've speaked about before in LD, in the negative constructive, you're going to spend 4 minutes on your constructive, and then you're going to spend some time rebutting the affirmative case. So what you're going to do as the affirmative on the flow is that you're going to first track what the negative constructive is on the other side of the paper. And then you're going to put 1 and C, which is still the negative constructive, but you're going to put what they respond to your arguments. And then you could put arrows to the arguments they didn't respond to, bring that up in your rebuttal speech. So this comes with practice, but flowing is more of, it's definitely something that you need to learn like in person. If I was like in person teaching, it would be much easier to learn for you guys. But for now, I'll make a Google Doc and I'll create some more instructions on how to flow. But that like beyond that, there's not like flowing is probably the most simple part. It should take you the least amount of time. Like all you have to do is okay, I'm pretty sure you guys can't see any of this, but I'll put the image of
mean-
my flow sheet. Yeah, what's up?
I mean, it's like if we pin you, probably then we can see it. Then you'd have to,
I'm
like-
not even sure.
But then you'd have to like bring it. Close.
Okay, yeah. So you should always have the value and value criterion of your case up here. As I've mentioned, value is what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day, and the value criterion is in which ways you're going to achieve it. Then you're going to have your contention one. This is when you pre-flow. So like before the round, just write down everything about your case. That's all you need to do. So write down like my contention 1, ideological imbalance, subpoint A, the Supreme Court is intensely polarized. You want to write that, and you want to write all the points about that, like just bullet points. Then you're going to want to put subpoint B, subpoint B, like there's no trust in the government. That's what you want to put. Then here for the second contention, you're going to put C2 trust. Then you're going to put America, all your points there. So America doesn't trust the Supreme Court. The Roe reversal, like, is the lack of trust. Term limits preserve democracy. Like, that's all you need to write. Then in the opponent is going to give a constructive. So write down their value and then value criterion. I don't know how close I can bring this. And then write down their contention, the contention plus title, all their points. And if they have their second contention, this one only had 1 contention. So some people on the negative, they only run 1 contention and they go really hard on the rebuttal. Now, the rebuttal is back on this side of the flow. So there's 2 sides of the flow, your side and then your opponent's side. So your side is basically what the opponent responds to you. So obviously in the negative constructive, the opponent has to respond to your case. So they're going to put, some couple of like arguments. So 4 arguments, and this is whatever their arguments are all the way to the bottom right here. So this stuff, this row. Then when it's your rebuttal, what you're going to do is you're going to create some responses to first their case, right? And then you're going to put some responses on what they said to your case. So always in the rebuttal, do these couple of things. First, reinforce your case. So make sure that whatever they said against your case, rebut it to the best of your ability. But then also attack their case. So you should all have some offense and defense on the rebuttal speeches. And that's what you want to track on the paper. So track your offense and track your defense. So what am I saying? What is my opponent saying? What is my opponent saying against my case? And what am I going to do to refute whatever they're saying? That's basically how you need to run the debate. And that's what flowing does. I'm going to create a much, much more in-depth article and not article, but like instructions page on how to do this. I wrote down a couple of things I'm going to do. So just check the Google Classroom in the next couple of days before the next class. So I'm just going to assign you guys an AF card, NEG card, and then I'll assign you a website where you can choose a topic. Just make a topic where like you have an affirmative and negative side, like make sure it's not like one way, and then I'm going to create a Google Doc for flowing. I'll create the site instructions for the people who haven't got it. I'll give you the Microsoft Word instructions for the paperless debate if you guys want it. I'm assuming you guys do. I think a lot of people said yes. And then I'll put the recording link for all the videos on the Google Classroom and an example card if that's good for everyone. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, this is a little confusing. Like, I thought it would be much easier to explain, but I like realized halfway through that it's a lot more complicated. But I'll put it in the Google Classroom. It should be much easier to see like visually, because I think the only issue here is that like I can't show you like that well how like you're supposed to flow, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. We can conclude the class here if anyone like has any other questions. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, Sarvesh. Yeah, it's my fault. My bad.
What question? I know that I was in your last class, but like, was there like a specific topic you had to do for the card?
Yeah, I gave a topic about like Iran and the Iran nuclear deal, but we're just going to I'm just gonna give you a website where you can look at a bunch of different topics, and then I'll assign a assignment where you have to submit a card and like something like that, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Darsh, you can go ahead and ask a question.
Can you leave right now or do you have to stay?
If you have any
Until-
questions, if not, you can leave.
If you don't have any questions, you can leave.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Thank
just make sure to check the Google Classroom. Like it's like
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. See
Bye.
you on Saturday. Have a good day.
Yep.
Can you also post
Thank
a
you.
slide-
Bye. See you
Yes.
next time.
Can you also post a slideshow?
Bye.
Yeah, I'll put the slideshow on there. Yep, I'll write that down.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Yep, no problem. But
I found like a source that I think would be helpful. Like it's called HTTPS.
yeah, so I'll tell you one thing. So like what I can tell inherently from this is it says the Christian Science Monitor. So it's already like kind of relating to religion. So that kind of makes it a biased source, if that makes sense. The site may be good, like not the website, but like the sourcing that it can get is good. But at the same time, it might not be like a good source, if that makes sense.
It makes sense if people don't know it.
But you see, you want to be credible, because if your opponent ever says, huh, this is the Christian source or something like that, right? The Christian Science Monitor. And they said, okay, this is an inherently biased source. Then when they like kind of question the credibility of your evidence, you can like, it hurts your debate basically.
So you want to put something that everyone knows.
Not everyone knows, but something that's like credible, like a science journal or, something like that, if that makes sense.
It's pretty credible. I mean, I checked it in the thing. It's got a
Yeah, I know. So that's like the quality of the site it gives you.
and when I searched it up, like the best sources, it came on one of the best sources to use. So that's why I'm just looking.
I mean, I'm not sure. It definitely has like a Christian Science perspective. It says that right there. Just like make sure it's not like a biased source. Like I think what you're getting confused is that when it gives you the site at the bottom, right? That's kind of like for your sourcing. That's not how good the actual website is, if that makes sense. Or like how good the article is. You have to judge how good the article is. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yep. All right, Shravani, do you have a question?
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, so I looked back up. There were only 3 like things: author name, date, when the article was published, and the title of the article. Is there anything else that we need to note down as well?
You should always have, so this off the top of my head, you need to have the author's name for one, have the date it was published, have the title of the article, have the larger source such as like CNN or wherever the author published it, and then have the link. That's what you need.
Okay.
Yep. So sometimes if it doesn't give you all of that information, if you just go on the website, you can find that information. And if it doesn't have it, then like I think you can still use the source, but you just have to like if your opponent ever asks you for it, you can say, okay, the I guess the website didn't have an author or didn't have a like an area base, or like not an area, but I guess like a date it was published. Yep. All right. I'll see you next week. Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, just make sure to check the Google Classroom. I'll post a couple of things on there.
Okay, can you also post all of these like the
The
things we
slideshows?
need to- no yeah, the things we need to have in our cards?
Okay, yeah. I'll put a card example on there. So I'll assign an AF card, neck card for homework, and then I'll give a flowing instructions. I'll give you instructions on how to get the site, the Microsoft Word thing, the recording link, card example, and the slideshow. Is that cool?
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. See you.
Bye.